Welcome again, grade 11s. I have another questions from previous question papers, question 2, based on exponents. So, question 2.1, they are saying to us, simplify fully. So they have given us expression and then they ask us to simplify those expressions. So simplify fully without the use of a calculator. So they require you not to use a calculator, and then let us see how we can do that. So the first question that we are given 5 to the power 2015 plus 5 to the power 2013 divided by 25 to the power 1006. So let us write our expression first. So the expression that we are given is 5 to the power 2015 plus 5 to the power 2013 divided by 25 to the power 1006. And then we are asked to simplify, meaning that we are asked in another case, since they just given us numbers, meaning that our answer is going to be a number. So let us see how we can do that. So first we are given 5 to the power 2015 and 5 to the power 2013. So what is it that we can do that can help us to simplify this expression? What we can do with the 5 to the power 2015, we can also write it as 5 to the power 2012 plus 3, because 2012 plus 3 gives you 5 to the power 2015 plus 5 to the power 2012. In order for us to get a 13, we must add a 1, then divided by 25 to the power 1006. But what can we do with the 25? 25 can be written as an exponent as as 5 to the power 2, because 5 to the power 2 is 5 times 5, which gives you a 25. So 5 to the power 2 multiplied by 1006, which is equals to, and then the 5 to the power 2012, we can separate those using our laws, because we know that this comes from the law of exponent, which is saying when you multiply powers with the same base, you add the exponent. So we can write that term as 5 to the power 2012 times 5 to the power 3 plus 5 to the power 2012 times 5 to the power 1 divided by 5 to the power 2 all raised to the power 1006. This will give you, we know that according to the law of exponent, this law, when we have a raised to the power n and then all raised to the power m, this is the same as a to the power n multiplied by m. So meaning that there we are supposed to say 2 times 1006, and then 2 times 1006, it gave us 2012. So we're gonna have 5 to the power 2012, which is equals to, and then here what do we see from our numerator? We see 5 to the power 12 and 5 to the power 12, meaning that we can factor those as 5 to the power 2012 into 5 to the power 3 plus 5 to the power 1 divided by 5 to the power 2012. And then what is happening? We have a common term from the numerator and the denominator, which is 5 to the power 2012. So the 5 to the power 2012 cancel with the 5 to the power 2012. Then we are left with 5 to the power 3 plus 5 to the power 1. And then now we need to calculate this value, because we have 5 to the power 3 and 5 to the power 1. 5 to the power 3 is the same as 5 times 5 times 5. And 5 times 5 is a 25, and 25 times 5, this give us a 100 and this give us 125. This give us 125. So that means we're gonna have 125 plus 5 to the power 1 is the same as 5, which is equals to 130. So this is our final answer, 130. Okay, let us go to question 2.2. So it's another expression that you are given. So let me just erase here. So also 2.2 is test our knowledge on exponents. They are also giving us an expression or an equation that we are required to solve. But 2.2 says solve for x without the use of a calculator. So I need you to remember that we are not using a calculator here. So 2.2.1, we are given a 5 to the power 10 minus 3x, which is equals to a 1. And then they ask us to solve this equation. So what is it that we can do? We are given a 1 there on the right hand side. Remember, there is a law that tells us that every number raised to the power 0 is equals to 1, meaning that if I have 100 raised to the power 0, this number is going to be equals to 1, meaning that we can also do that with a 5, because we have a base which is 5. We can introduce another base of 5 but raised to the power 0. So that means we're going to have 5 to the power 10 minus 3x, which is equals to 5 to the power 0. 5 to the power 0 is indeed equals to a 1. And then once the bases are the same, we can now leave the bases and then drop the exponents. We're going to have 10 minus 3x, which is equals to a 0, meaning that now we can transpose the 10 to the other side. We're going to have negative 3x, which is equals to a negative 10. And then dividing both sides with the negative 3, we're going to have x being equals to 10 all over 3. So this is our solution. And then let us go to 2.2.2. So 2.2.2, we are given 2 to the power 2x to the power negative 3 is negative 2 over 3, which is equals to a 15. And then now we are asked to also solve this, remember, without the use of a calculator. 2 times x to the power negative 3 over to the power negative 2 over 3, which is equals to 50. We are asked to solve it. Then what is it that we can do? Remember, 50, we can write 50 as an exponent. We can write 50 as an exponent. And how can we write it? We can write it as 5 to the power 2 multiplied by 2, because 5 to the power 2 is 5 times 5, which gives you a what? A 25. And 25 multiplied by 2, it gives you a 50. So we can say 2x to the power negative 2 over 3 is equals to 25. Let me say not 25, let me just write a 5 to the power 2 times 2. And then from here I divide both sides by a 2, and then if I divide both sides by 2, the 2 cancels. We are left with x to the power negative 2 over 3, which is equals to 5 to the power 2. And 5 to the power 2, remember, is the same as 25. And then now how can we write this? Remember, how can we get rid of that exponent? We can get rid of that exponent by saying x to the power negative 2 over 3 raised to the reciprocal of the exponent. If we raise it to the reciprocal of the exponent, it's going to be just a negative 3 over 2, which is equals to, remember, we do this both sides. If we introduce the reciprocal on the left hand side, we must also do it on the right hand side, meaning that here we're going to have 5 to the power 2 all raised to the power negative 3 over 2. And now we can write this in as a simplified form, saying that we have x to the power negative 2 over 3 multiplied by negative 3 over 2, which is equals to 5 to the power 2 multiplied by negative 3 over 2. And then what is it that can happen here? That negative 2 is going to cancel with that 2, and that negative are going to cancel, and also the 3 is going to cancel with that 3. Then we are left with x this side being equals to, then now what is it that is going to happen? And the 2 is going to cancel with that 2, we are left with a 5 to the power negative 3. Then therefore our x is gonna be equals to, remember this, we can write it as a fraction as 1 over 5 to the power 3. And then x is equals to 1 over, what is 5 to the power 3? We already seen is 125. So this is our answer. Thank you.